Hi, my name's Ian, I play guitar in Creeper, and this is what's on my playlist. When you're on tour, you end up listening to a lot of bands. And it's great, like, learning about new bands, but sometimes when you get back to the van or the bus or whatever you're driving in, it's nice to have sort of a chilled out zone where you can sort of take yourself away from that and reamp yourself ready for the next day of loud music. So I've been listening to a lot of Elliott Smith records. I love Elliott Smith so much. I've been listening to actually quite a lot of metal recently. I listened to the new Black Breath record quite a lot. Will got me into Father John Misty. I've been listening to that record a lot. And obviously, you go back to the classics. We always listen to Alkaline Trio. It's like a constant in the van. It's Trio, AFI. So I listen to a lot of like singer-songwriter stuff. So I listen to loads of Bright Eyes, which I know a lot of people don't necessarily like, but it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. Because you get used to, when you're on tour, what sort of emotions you go through. You know, like, you're going to have a couple nights where you really, really feel sad and you want to get away from everything. You're going to have nights where you're really amped up and you're going to want some real loud, like, aggressive stuff. And then you get in-betweens where you just want sort of chill music. If I know I'm going to feel sad, I have a sad playlist with all those artists I mentioned before. I just have all that stuff. I have the different variations, so I know I'm prepared for whatever mood I'm going to end up being in at the end of the day.
I've been listening to a lot of a band called Pears recently, actually. They're kind of newish on my radar. They're kind of similar to a lot of Fat Records bands that I kind of grew up listening to, a lot of those Fat Record playlists and stuff. So that's really into those guys. They're really cool. And also for something maybe a little bit more chill, there's some guys called Pine Grove that I've been listening to a lot of as well. Kind of more acousticy, folky vibe.
I've been listening to Millencolin a lot. I haven't listened to them since I did my university degree, and I think I listened to them way too much. At the time I was doing my dissertation and stuff, I was just like, oh no, and every time I listened to them it would remind me of that, but now I've got back into them, so I'm listening to them. I'm listening to the newer Data Remember stuff. I'm really stoked for that album coming out. Yeah, and I listen to quite a lot of classical stuff as well. When I'm in the car, I get really bad road rage, so put classical music on, I'm like, yeah, this is much better. But yeah, I think those are like the main things that are on my playlist at the moment.
Cool. I've just been listening to like Moose Blood, like our friends. Taking Back Sunday, I heard the new track they put out and it's awesome. So I've been listening to like the back catalogue as well, getting excited for new stuff from them. Also, like one of my friends' bands from the UK that are just coming up called Sad Blood. They're going to be a cool band to check out, hopefully, in the next couple of years.
At the moment, I've been listening to a band from the UK called Puppy. They don't sound like anything else at the moment, I don't think, apart from Ghost. They sound a little bit like Ghost. But we saw them at a festival the other day called 2000 Trees in the UK. And they're just starting out, so no one really knows about them yet. So I recommend checking them out. I'm also listening to a band from New Jersey called Old Wounds. And we just saw them on Warped Tour in Noblesville, Indiana. I've been following them for a little while, but I hadn't had a chance to see them yet because they haven't been over to the UK. So I finally got to see them in a field, and I was melting because I was dressed like this, and they were fantastic. And the singer Kevin wears a lot more makeup than I do, and somehow that all stays on his face every day. I played one show here so far, and my face has just melted off straight away. So, fair play to Old Wounds.
I have, like, for some reason in my head, I have this group of, I think it's about 4 or 5 bands that are just the bands from when I was younger that I still listen to all the time today. And they're kind of like a core group that I would probably always start with and then jumble in a bunch of other stuff. Frenzal Rom, a band called Useless ID, a band called Audio Karate, The Early November, just bands that for some reason I still love way too much and start every kind of playlist with them.
I got really obsessive over the new Tiger Army album. Their first album, I think it's like 9 years since they've done something, and it's really great to hear that they can produce such a solid album after kind of a time away from being Tiger Army and that. The new Against Me track came out, 333. I think that's a great track, and I can't wait for they get to come over to the UK in December. And I was really panicking because we have a tour that runs into December, and I was hoping that we wouldn't clash. And thankfully there's 2 days between their London date and us getting home, so I can go and see them again. Milk Tea for a great band, if you guys have heard them. It's cool the UK has like a bunch of new bands now that we're all sort of at the same point, like show size wise, and we're sort of, it's a community feel again within like which is basically friends producing great music. Like Dan said, Moose Blood. We've got Neck Deep there over here a lot. Milk Teeth. Like it's a really good time to be from Britain actually, I think, right now.